In this video, I'm going to share with you super simple technique to get rid of a lot of losing trades, and that technique is based on the most fundamental element you can find out there, and that element is time. So let's get to it. Welcome back, breakout trading funds, breakout trading specialists, or becoming breakout traders. So what I'm going to talk about today, it's a very simple yet very powerful technique to remove potentially lot of false entries. Not always, not with every market, yet it's worth exploring, and it's something I use nearly every single day. So let me get to it. First of all, I want to show you, and I hope you can see my screen right now. I'm going to talk about I'm going to use a simple model strategy. So I want to show you the whole technique on a simple strategy. This is a strategy built on E-mini NASDAQ 60 minutes, and this is on the last 5 years of the data from 21 to 26, and as you can see, it's nothing special. It's just a very simple model. Again, I deliberately modeled a strategy which doesn't look perfect, so I can show you a power of different techniques that can help to improve the strategy. It's based on the Mr. Breakout's formula from the Breakout Trading Revolution code. And as you can see, it's a super simple, the entry and exit is extremely simple. It cannot get any simpler. So basically, we're using the formula, which is based on some point of initiation from which we calculate space where we enter the position, and alternatively we limit with some time, which we do not do here. So basically what we do, we just take 10 period moving average on data 2, that means on daily data, because don't forget that the main strategy is on 60 minutes data. So here we also use secondary data, which is daily data, and we calculate moving average period 10. By the way, this is TradeStation code. I only worked with TradeStation. I don't know how to code in any other platform, so don't ask me about any other platform. Ask ChatGPT. It can translate anything to anything. And basically we calculate the breakout level where we enter the long position, again based on the breakout formula from the Breakout Trading Revolution book. So we just take that point of initiation and we add 2.2 multiplier as a fraction of average true range period 20. That's it. That's where we place the stop order. Once we're filled, we're in the position, and this is a day trading strategy, per day trading strategy. So we either exit on the close, that's the syntax in TradeStation, said exit on the close. That means at the very end of the day, or we place, and we also place a protective stop loss of $3,000. This is just a protection for the worst cases if market crashes or anything like that. So we have some protective stop loss in place. And as you can see, the strategy itself, it's not a strategy per se, because strategy would also include filters, and I deliberately left any filter out because I want to show you that we can start improving strategies without necessarily in first place just stacking filter over filter and and overfitting the strategy until it's unusable and it doesn't work in live trading at all. We always want to start with simple techniques which have nearly zero danger of overfitting. That's the easiest way to improve your strategies. And the easiest one is called T-segment. T-segment means that we segment our market by time, and any market in the world can be segmented by time. I mean anything, any market can be segmented because every market is based somewhere. So for example, if we trade futures, most of them are based in Chicago. So Chicago is already giving us some time zone where we can segment our time. Even markets which trade to 24/7 can be segmented. You just need to use common sense. So for example, we for example trade forex and pairs like USD, let's say Swiss franc, then of course you can check your base would be either Switzerland or the US. So you can segment and you can try to segment both countries, and basically the segmentation is always simple. We have regular trading hours. That's when people go to work, when banks are open, and when markets have their main trading session. It starts sometimes like 8 a.m. until 3 or 4 p.m. or to 5 p.m. depends on the country. Roughly, it's the main regular trading hours. It's very similar in every country, something like 8, 9 a.m. until 3, 4, 5 p.m. And then everything before that, it's pre-market, and that's where people are sleeping. And that means in the main country where the main market is located, there's not much activity happening from the residents of the country where it's located. But there can be a lot of activity from other countries which are in a different time zone. And similarly, the aftermarket, that's after the war, where basically in the country of the residents of the market, probably people just go home, forget the market, and don't worry so much anymore. But the other countries can be waking up and getting ready to trade that market. The key point here is that each segment behaves completely differently. And I guarantee that once you start segmenting your market, the behavior of pre-market, regular trading hours, and aftermarket can be vastly different. And I mean like day and night. So just by segmenting our market and just splitting it into segments, time segments, already can give you big insight, but also huge differences in the behavior of your trading strategies, because these segments can work completely differently, have completely different behavior by nature, by definition. And that's what I'm going to show you today. That's what we're going to do with the strategy. So let me actually start from the very beginning. What I'm doing here, just to also let you know, I'm using the BreakoutOS, and I'm using its module, which is called, which is in the improve part, where we have modules to improve our breakout trading strategies literally in seconds. And there's a module called smashing false breakouts. It's all based on different levels of timing: general timing, system timing, volatility timing, and market timing. I can actually create a special video just about this one. But basically what we do, we just load up our strategy, which is the same strategy as you can see. Okay, so we can have a confirmation. This is the original strategy. Now I loaded the same strategy, absolutely completely identical strategy, into the smashing false breakouts module in the BreakoutOS. And now we can have a look on the level of system timing. Sorry, not system timing, general timing. That's part of the general timing, where we just work with general tendencies and timing. And we can have a look on the T segment. And if we take this strategy and we look at the T segment, the BreakoutOS automatically splits it into 2, 3, and 4 different segments. And we immediately can see the differences, guys. Have a look. If we segment into 3 segments like this, what I just described here, right, like first, second, and third, you can immediately see big differences. You can see the strategy thrives with entries in after the session, in the aftermarket. It does produce profits in the main session. However, it looks like it doesn't do much in the pre-market session. So if we have a closer look, we can see we're thriving in the aftermarket. This strategy works perfectly in the aftermarket. We're kind of struggling, being all over the place in the main session, but we're definitely losing money in the pre-market. Like this is a day and night. So the easiest way we can play with this one. We can, for example, focus only on the aftermarket and just narrow the aftermarket down a little bit. That would be one way, but the easiest way, and guys, like if you watch my channel, by the way, don't forget to subscribe. I deliver tips and tricks like this twice a week. So twice a week, you can significantly improve your trading and learn something new completely for free. So now I like to keep things simple, and the simplest way, you just remove what doesn't belong there, period. And that would be actually my approach. So if this is the NASDAQ market, and the easiest way is basically we just go and we remove the pre-market, and the pre-market would be sometimes until, let's say, 8 a.m. That's where basically the regular trading hours start. So what we do, we just narrow down the time to 8 a.m. We only allow to trade this strategy 8 a.m. to midnight. We completely remove the pre-market, and have a look, guys, we're immediately removing a lot of rubbish, a lot of noise. Now, this is not, listen, there are some absolutely outstanding other techniques in smashing false breakouts and module, and I'm going to show you next week. Next week we're going through another, so please, again, don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to show a bunch of them. But overall, even this one, if we remove the pre-market, we're immediately improving some good metrics. So we're actually increasing the average trade from 120 to 130. We're improving net profit drawdown ratio slightly from 524 to 579. So not bad, not bad. We can also try to focus on the aftermarket only. And what happens if we focus only on the aftermarket? Now we're removing some massive noise going to nowhere, and we're improving the strategy. We're actually not much of an improvement of the net profit drawdown ratio. It's quite similar, but we're increasing the average trade from 120 to 143, and we're pretty much, it's pretty much similar, just the equity curve looks a little bit different. We got rid of some big drawdowns here. So as I said, not my style. I'll prefer just removing, like the weakest part, and that's it. That's where I'm happy with already. But just removing this weakest part, definitely you're saving some stop losses. You're definitely improving slightly the net profit drawdown ratio. You're definitely improving the average trade. And listen, this is just one technique, okay? So once you start stacking these techniques, and I'm going to show you more and more, it starts all of a sudden improving tremendously. So this is a very low risk improvement, and with some strategies you will see major, huge improvements. With some just modest improvements like this. Either way, zero risk of overfitting, using just common trading sense, natural behavior of markets. That's the key point, and removing a lot of noise which just doesn't belong them. So why keep it there? So again, very simple, very efficient. Now let me know in the comments below, do you use time in your trading? How do you use time? What do you think about deploying time element? I personally think time element is so important. So please let me know. Let me also know if you like this kind of videos by giving it like. That's how I know you want more of it. And I'll show you other techniques, way more powerful techniques in upcoming week. So please don't forget to subscribe. Let me know below what do you think, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Meanwhile, happy trading.